Sandra, where are you from? If Sandra and Patty want to drop where they're from in the chat, that'd be awesome. Like to know where people are joining in from. It's always a pleasure. And didn't get to have a formal start, but I'm Brian, and I am the founder of Medicine Box, and we do these shift series once a month. Thanks, Patty. Once a month, and we like to pick a topic to explore. Last month we did a topic around Veterans Day, and worked with a charitable organization, Operation EVAC. In October, we worked with indigenous tribes out of the Pine Ridge Reservation, the Lakota and Sioux tribe, partners of ours. And this month, being the last month of the year, and the solstice, the darkest day of the year, and we've made it through a lot of dark days in 2021 and as well as 2020. And this is just kind of more of a free forum experiment on how we can, bring in some newfound discoveries and what we think of as a wish list for the cannabis industry in 2022, maybe even in the psychedelic space. But mindfulness is a big pillar of ours. It's one of the founding pillars of Medicine Box, and really mindfulness is just paying attention and being an observer in the present moment. And if we had to dovetail that into being an observer of the cannabis industry, we see a lot of things that we don't like. There's a lot of things we do like. There's a lot of things that we do internally as a team to bring this vision and mission out into the world. And a lot of that is based around what we call the 7-pillar wisdom of mindfulness, food, music, community, collaboration, recovery, and nature being this evolving medium that weaves it all together. And the grounding mission of co-creating human health and happiness while harmonizing a relationship with Mother Earth, and a purpose of being socially responsible, environmentally responsible, and utilizing the spirit of cannabis, the spirit of hemp, and even psilocybin and other adaptogens and herbs to really fully encompass that whole mission, that whole purpose, the value system here at Medicine Box of the 6 C's, which is courage, jumping into the unknown with courage, and having compassion, the 2nd C for ourselves, the plant, the people that have, put themselves out there for this plant, that have been wrongfully imprisoned, people that have been wrongfully misunderstood. I think Daryl was touching on that. There's a lot of misunderstanding there. So having compassion for the people that misunderstand the plant, having clarity around what we're doing, where we're going, clarity within ourselves, creative outlet, having creativity in what we're doing. I think there's a lot of creativity that can be galvanized and as well as inspired from the use of cannabis, but also being creative with what we're doing as a brand, how we're bringing culture into the brand, and the messaging that we're bringing out there into the world, that it's not just about getting high. Cannabis isn't just THC, it's not just CBD. There's a lot of other very, very deeply ingrained cultural and societal conditioning that has been falsely built around the plant. So being creative to be able to cut through that noise. So those are 3 C's: courage, creativity, clarity, compassion. That's 4. Conversation, having conversations like this, and communication that kind of overlap in conversation, but outwardly having communications with our fellow cannabis users, patients, consumers, business operators, brand builders, cultivators, manufacturers, distributors, and learning what people's viewpoints and perspectives are through clear communication, and then of course clear communication within ourselves and within our team. And then the last C there, to tie it all off, is consciousness, and being able to elevate the consciousness of fellow humans, and having our cognitive liberty in place, and the cognitive liberty that we are freely able to explore our own consciousness through the use of cannabis and other plant medicines, and not have to have these evil bureaucracies and rules and propaganda and politicians and big pharma telling us what we can and cannot do with our own bodies, and especially our own minds and our hearts. So being able to raise and elevate consciousness in ourselves and with other people. So that's a little bit about the mission, the brand, purpose, and the values. So mission, purpose, values, I think, are something that really encompasses what a brand is and what a brand does. And a little bit about our origin story is Solstice, and the reason why we're doing this kind of free forum discussion around cannabis is our co-founder, Michael Hollister, our late great co-founder. He passed in 2018 on the Strawberry Full Moon. He was also my mentor that brought me, shifted my own perspective. So through those 6 C's, he's shifted my perspective on what the powers of the master plan of cannabis can do and put forth, and have an effect on not only our health and happiness, but on greater societal and environmental shifts. And the solstice for him was a big time of year to not only close our bookkeeping for the year, but have gestalt conversations with our community, our teammates, and reflect on what has transpired through the past year and what we want to see going into the next year, talking about different business relationships, tightening up partnerships, and really just making sure that one of those 6 C's, that communication, is really, really, really poignant and dialed in, so we have clarity moving forward. And I do have some notes that I'd like to discuss on some of those things that, within the brand this year that happened. I mean, I'm sure everyone on here has had their own trials, tribulations, sacrifices, headaches, all the things that have come with a global pandemic, and navigating that. And, so next year, just wanted to drop some morsels for anyone that's interested, but 2020 in review, this shift series we do once a year. We had some great guests, Mara Gordon of Aunt Zelda's, Ethan Russo. We had Michelle Ross on here, some great minds doing some great work in the cannabis and plant medicine world. We inaugurated what we call the Healing of the Nations. That's our social and environmentally responsible business campaign, where we choose a different organization once a month to donate a portion of our sales back to. We introduced work with the Church of Integrative Medicine, and they're out of the Pine Ridge Reservation, working with the Lakota and Sioux tribe. We ran a really amazing Tahoe giveaway, where we gave away a trip for 2 to Lake Tahoe. That's where I'm sitting right now, to come here and enjoy what inspires me as the founder, and a lot of the consciousness that goes into building this brand, by being surrounded by mountains and fresh air and trees and flora and fauna, that I'm very grateful to be here. Alibaba, we worked with for a little while as a vendor with our hemp line. And then we have some really awesome charitable partners. Last Prisoner Project is dedicated to extracting all prisoners that have been wrongfully convicted into the prison system for cannabis, as well as Repurpose Global that helps remove ocean plastics in the ocean waters. Caldor fire in Tahoe is very challenging. The death of my spirit animal, Phoenix, the husky pup. So things have been very challenging, and for all of us. And those are just some of our own, accelerated concepts, as well as hangups. But we're all here, and I just wanted to let everyone know that the cannabis plant really brings us all together. And I think it's important to remind ourselves that even though we have problems and issues and we're fighting a good fight, it's a good reminder to just keep moving forward. So next year we are definitely looking forward to, and we're launching a mushroom nootropic product. We're in the process of developing a podcast, so separate from this webcast, but talking about plant medicine, cultural, societal dynamics that we're facing now as a community at large in the cannabis and larger wellness space. A new Shopify store, and then plenty of great guests that are coming on these webcasts. So again, Patty, Karen, Daryl, thank you for joining to listen to this. And then I want to open it up for a discussion, but not before we do just a little guided meditation that I wanted to do. And I was being resisting that earlier with my team because no one was on here. And I can laugh at myself now about it. But so the greater cannabis industry at large, again, Daryl, back to your question about medical cannabis, like how do we change it? Like, I think it's important to recognize that we're not even fully legal yet, right? Texas barely has any, legalization happening there. California is a mess right now with the taxes, and they continue to raise the taxes and the barrier of entry that it takes just to be an operator in this marketplace. There's robberies that are happening, and I think there's a lot of mayhem with the overlap of a legal marketplace and then the traditional market, aka black market. And the black market is going to continue to thrive until regulators either reformat the barrier of entries and regulations, reduce taxes, increase the amount of retail stores. And then, of course, we're not even talking on a federal level, but I think there's a lot of work to be done. So hopefully that helped answer some more of your question there, Daryl. And then the cannabis, wellness market continues to merge with the plant medicine or psychedelic renaissance that is happening. And that was one of the key points that Medicine Box really brings out with, our internal team dialogue is there's a lot of noise around the recreational marketplace. There's not much differentiation of brands and products because, let's face it, it's just weed. It's THC. It's getting high. It's having a good time. It's lifestyle. It's party. It's fun. It's cool. It's all the things that come with being a renegade. And that has its place, but we've also lost a lot of the candor and the heart and spirit of what the plan is for so many people from a wellness perspective. And speaking personally, cannabis has helped me transition off of pharmaceutical, SSRI by the name of Prozac. It's helped, recalibrate my nervous system. I've used it working with other people to get off of SSRIs, off of alcohol, off of even cigarettes. So it has a lot of potential, but we're not hearing that much anymore because you have regulations, you have just what we call just THC, and then the CBD, larger hemp space or the CBD world is this just CBD and these single molecules, but there's a lot of nuance in between. So we think that there's going to be a lot of potential around the trace cannabinoids, or innovative, like the rare cannabinoids of the future, as we call them, THCVA, THCA, some of the more the acid compounds, the precursors, CBG, CBC, CBN. There's so much fascinating compounds within the plant that we haven't really even discovered. And I think there's a lot of innovation that can happen there. And we, at large, like, we invite people to innovate around these cannabinoids. And then, of course, we have terpenes, and terpenes are the life, as Ethan Russo says, they're the quintessential life force of the plant, the fifth element, really. And it's the navigational system of the cannabis plant, where the cannabinoids are more of the driving mechanism, and that entourage effect really is able to bring in the real therapeutic benefits of working effectively with formulations and with cannabis medicine from a patient, practitioner, or caregiver perspective. And we've lost a lot of that. I think we've lost our we've a bit lost America has really kind of lost its way, but like cannabis at large has kind of lost its way. And there's this big fight. It's like price gouging, it's price wars. It's based on THC, concentration of THC, and the percentage of THC. And there's much more to the plant than that. So I kind of invite anyone that's really listening and hopefully being inspired by this to think of it as cannabis. Like we are, one of our unique selling propositions is we are the entourage effect. We're more than CBD. We're more than THC. Like, that is from a product standpoint, but also from a messaging standpoint, that I believe the people on this Zoom right now understand that and wanted to learn a little bit more. So I encourage you all to think about, how can you as a human be part of the larger entourage effect of getting cannabis to kind of fit into that wellness mold. And again, Daryl, back to you. Thanks for leading us off with that question, because I feel like it was a good anchor to the conversation of, like, how do we switch the name around medical cannabis? And I don't think we need to. I think we need to look through the lens of what medical cannabis is and bring products through that lens, bring messaging through that lens, bring conversations through that lens, that we are the entourage effect, and we are more than CBD, and we are more than THC, and being more vocal about it. So those are some big takeaways in 2022. I think the biggest thing for us as a brand that we'd like to see is being able to cut through this noise of the recreational use of just THC and the just CBD worlds. I mean, they're massively emerging as a large industry, and there's a lot of big players in there, and we're a small brand. We're small but mighty, in being able to cut through that noise and bring the message of our mission, purpose, values into the world, and doing it as we bump up against the recreational, corporations, I suppose, and well-funded brands that kind of don't look outside that lane of getting high. And that's okay too. I mean, I think we all want to have shifts in mindsets and things like that. And cognitive liberty is a real thing. So at this point, I know Daryl and Sandra are in an airport, and I love meditating at the airport, actually. I just put my headphones on, my sunglasses on, and meditate. But I wrote some thoughts down this morning, and again, based on like one of the founding pillars of mindfulness of the brand, and some more origin stories is mindfulness to me became a big lifesaver in my process of recovery, and through drugs and alcohol, and learning meditation was very paramount to my personal development, who I am as a human, and how I like to operate day to day, and clear my mind and come up with creative ideas. But Medicine Box was one of those creative ideas that happened in a running meditation. I was jogging very lightly in Hawaii, and I was thinking of a name, and I wanted a name that like was really big, and was just asking for a download, and a Medicine Box kind of happened there. And a lot of my best ideas have come from meditation. And if you could take away, there's a lot of things in my life you could take away, but you can't take away meditation. So, and then again, I wanted to thank everyone for, making it here, showing up, joining a Zoom. And, winter solstice, again, is a great time to set goals for yourself, set goals for your business, your relationships, any projects, and also a great time to let go of things that don't serve you, people, places, and things. And I think that, in order to do the work in the world, it's important to align yourself with nature's rhythms, and understand what nature's telling you. Nature never stops working for us, so why should we stop working for Mother Nature? And that's part of that, harmonization with Mother Nature as our mission. And so I'd like, wherever you all are, airport, home, train, car, just be safe where you are, and get comfortable. And this is we're just going to do like a 5-minute meditation, and then I'm going to open it up for some Q&A. But meditation it's intensely practical. It's a very pragmatic concept, and the majority of us humans walking this earth, me included, have a very overdeveloped reactive mind and a very underdeveloped responsive mind. And meditation really helps us get out of that reactive mind and into more of a responsive state of being. 20 minutes a day can do a body good. And one of the first fruits to bear when we plant that seed of meditation, or plant ourselves down in a silent space, the 3 S's of stillness, silence, and spaciousness, it really teaches us to listen. Really, meditation is just a practice on learning how to listen, and listening to ourselves, which is our intuitive guidance. And then if we're able to listen to ourselves, be more responsive, we should be able to listen to other people that we face with every day, family, relationships, business partnerships, colleagues, and even that person that cuts you off driving. We could listen to ourselves, and are we being reactive or responsive? A lot of times it's reactive, but being reactive is not going to change the way that person's driving. We can look at it from a responsive space and say, maybe that person's just a bad driver. Maybe that person is going to the hospital. Maybe that person's having a really crappy day. So those are the things that meditation can teach. And that first kind of fruit that we bear from it is this emotional balance. And I think we all could use a little bit more emotional balance. And again, resulting in improving our conscious contact with the universe, or that 6C there is the consciousness, and improving our conscious contact with the universe can really help us understand that we're all just like one interconnected blob of, human species on this planet, all trying to figure it out as we spin around in this freaking rock. So wherever you are, I'd like you all to get a little comfortable. Close your eyes. Meditation can be weird by yourself. It's even weirder when it's with a group of people. And I find that to be awesome because we are interconnected. And really just focus on like what you want to bring in for 2022. It could be anything, and what you want to let go of. And make that your guiding mantra. Remember to focus on your breath. And I'll set the timer right now. 5 minutes. That's all we're going to do. And I'm going to call on the east, guide us in here. The east is where the sun rises every single day. It awakens our day. It also awakens our inner voice and our intuitive guidance that we should listen to every day. I'm going to face the south, where that life-giving, south-facing sun hits us and ignites our courage, our clarity, our creativity, our compassion for self and others, our clear communication, and our consciousness. And we're calling the west, great mysterious west, where the sun sets every single day, and we never question why the sun sets in the west. It just does. So why should we question the behaviors of other people, other things, and places, and allow people, places, and things just to come into our life and to leave our life, and to find the peace and serenity by accepting people, places, and things exactly as they are in this present moment, because nothing happens in this universe by mistake. Calling in the north for our discernment and our understanding, and to always be discerning with people, places, and things, and to always remember to be understanding, and it's less of being understood. And I'll repeat that again. It's better to understand than it is to be understood. And there's the responsiveness that we can obtain from being in meditation. And then above, as above, so below, the celestial beings above, the galaxies, the stars, the moon, the sky, great big sky above us. Let us receive the downloads and be a conduit between here and there and there and here, and implement whatever those downloads you're receiving into your everyday waking life, into that observable reality, and to always stay on your true north. And for the ground and the earth that keeps us centered and balanced, definitely want to thank the cannabis plant and all the rest of the flora and fauna that we get to cohabitate with as human beings. The mountains, the trees, the birds and the bees, the ospreys, the eagles, mountain chickadees, bunnies, squirrels, lizards, whatever other flora and fauna, animals that, are important to you. They have a lot of power and wisdom to them. And then being connected as a conduit, being a human between that earth plane and the spirit world, and oscillating between both. And then bringing it back to ourselves, to our heart. Let our hearts be filled with kindness and compassion, definitely this holiday time, with our fellow humans and ourselves and our partners and family members and whoever else is important in your life, even the barista that's serving your coffee, or the person working behind the counter at the grocery store during the holiday season. Remember to be compassionate and kind and loving and caring to those people as well. We're all going through something. And then our breath. Remind you to take a big deep breath in whenever you need it. Even hold it for 5 seconds. A nice exhale there. You can do that any point in the day. All right. We've never done that before on a medicine box Zoom, but everybody, we just meditated together for 5 minutes. Thank you for joining. That was fun. Now, with the 15 minutes that we have left, I've rambled on enough. Led Zeppelin song, Ramble On, one of my favorite songs. If anyone has any questions or comments or anything that came to mind or heart during meditation, or a wish list for 2022, if you want to, I think it's a small enough group right now that we, instead of dropping the question in the chat like I normally do, let's just turn your audio on and fire away whatever comes to mind, or we can just sit here and contemplate silence in a good way, or I can just keep talking. Anybody? Come on, I'll start picking on people.
I will go.
Thanks, Patty.
Patty. Yeah. Thank you for this chance to meditate. That was nice. I'm down here in Southern California. And when you started talking about the meditation and kind of setting intentions for the new year, I chose for myself clarity in the new year, to be kind of guided to find truthful things and truthful endeavors, and then also to let go of past traumas and past painful things. So thank you for that. That was nice.
You're welcome. Thanks for that, Patty.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Karen's hands up. Karen, you're
Hi.
you're muted there. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Brian. I apologize. I'm going to have to get off, but I just wanted to let you know that we are of like mind, and I look forward to hearing more from you and participating in building a network of people of goodwill who are in the cannabis industry, and I appreciate what you said.
Thanks. Where are you from, Karen?
Los Angeles.
Right on. Enjoy.
All right. Thank you, man.
Yeah, reach out anytime.
All right. Bye.
Appreciate joining. Okay. Well, that was fun. I do, want to say thanks, Elena, in front of everyone here for pushing me to do this. I joined and had to turn my day around a little bit, having a bit of a challenging day. A lot of grief happening in my world right now, with my partner and even myself. And it's there's no roadmap for grief and how to navigate it. So just doing the best we can. And so thanks, Elena, for taking the words out of what I would say to someone. Is like, sounds like you're right where you need to be, right where you need to meditate. You need it. And the things that we don't always like get what we want to hear. We certainly get what we need to hear, whether we like it or not. Patty, is there anything else that you wanted to express?
I can't
Good.
think of anything. I could maybe tell you a little bit about the work I'm doing here in San Diego. I'm working on a cannabis social equity committee for the county. We're working on drafting a social equity program and ordinance that's countywide. So I appreciate the things that you said about, really sort of rectifying a lot of things that are bad in the cannabis industry with, dare I say, venture capitalists and people who just want to make money and not really appreciate that it's medicine and how it really can help people. I myself am a patient. I have type 1 diabetes and a lot of neuropathic pain and also injury from being diabetic my whole life.
Yeah.
And in 2009, I was on a number of pain medications, mostly opioids, but started doing research how to get off of the opioids because my doctors did not care and kept coming up with THC. So I had never used cannabis in the past. My specialty, my career was developmental psychology, and I focused on autism. So I've done a lot of work with kids with autism, now adults with autism, and I've become a patient advocate. And it really is important to get real information out to people and, help people understand. And I work with a lot of medical people, doctors, nurses, who we all kind of make the argument, even if you're recreational in this space, you're still using it as medicine, and you may not realize that. So
Absolutely.
I appreciate you saying those words, and it's really speaks truth to me and resonates.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. If you look at some of the data where cannabis has been decriminalized, or there's some form of regulations in states, you'll see that opioid use and deaths have gone down. And that's a sure sign that, any use of cannabis is medical, use, even when people don't realize it. And it's like, I'd rather people be smoking bongs all day than going out and getting Oxycontins and fentanyl and heroin. So, yeah. So glad you're not on opiates anymore, any of the harmful substances. Do you know Dr. Michelle Ross? Are you familiar with her work?
I do not. No. Is she down here in Southern Cal, or?
She's in Las Vegas, but she wrote a book called Vitamin Weed. She's a neuroscientist. She's one of our partners. But she has fibromyalgia. And so she's done extensive research on, neuroplasticity and cannabis to assist with more of the neurodegenerative diseases. So that'd be exact for it.
Yeah, that's cool.
very approachable.
Before COVID, I was doing a lot of events and event planning and, kind of getting networking people together. And then when COVID, the pandemic hit, I had to pivot. And so for my COVID hobby, I decided to get a master's degree in psychopharmacology. So I'll be done with that in June. And I'm excited to be ready to do whatever I can when I get done. And, hopefully the pandemic will ease up.
Yeah. Good for you. Way to use the time constructively. And in the chat there, Elena just dropped Dr. Michelle's book for you, Patty.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, that's about all the time we have. That was super fun. Thanks. And I hope everybody has a great holiday season. Patty, you know where to find us. My LinkedIn, you went through my LinkedIn to get here, so feel free to message me anytime. My personal email is Brian with an I at medicinebox.green. And if there's any contacts or opportunities that I can assist with and vice versa, don't be a stranger. We love hearing from people.
Thank you very much. I will definitely keep in touch. Hope you guys have all a really nice holiday season.
You too. Be safe.
Patty.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Thanks. All
You're
right.
welcome.
I guess I'm going to check out.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. That was fun, guys. Thanks.